Going live in five, four,
Oh,
three.
wait. Time out. A Hidden City Book Company Productions.
Yeah.
Okay. Hidden City Book Company Productions. Okay.
Okay.
Continue.
Going live in five, four, three. Welcome back to Lost Legacies. I'm Matt.
And I'm
Oh,
Sam.
I'm the one who screwed it up.
Dang it.
All right, go again. We'll go again. Welcome back to Lost Legacies.
A Hidden City Book Company Production.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Sam.
Uh,
Jeez.
Welcome back, man. We're a mess.
Uh, Wait, what can you expect after such a long day of work?
Yeah, I know. Guys, Sam and I had to work together today. We usually do a lot of times, but we also had to work with our manager.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't spend all shift talking to each other. And you know what? We got a lot of stuff done.
We got a lot done.
So this podcast, this is essentially what it's like working with us 7 to 8 hours a day,
Yeah.
except when the boss is there. Like we're just in our own world. I had my music on. We were going. Got so much done because we weren't talking.
I like there was a point like towards the beginning of that where I was like, man, I guess we're not going to be talking today. Should I go grab my headphones and start listening to my audiobook? Like this feels weird.
Yeah, yeah.
It's such, and it like it's a deceptively sized space because it's not a huge warehouse space.
Right.
And especially when there's like three people in there, like it gets kind of small pretty fast. But when none of us are talking to each other, it's very much just like, oh, okay. I
Mm-hmm.
guess I'm just over here in my corner doing my
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up? What's new? Any news?
Yeah, kind of. It was just announced to it was just announced today that Warner Brothers is going forward with a fifth Matrix movie
Mm,
without Lana or Lena Wachowski.
wow. Now they're going with Drew Goddard, right?
Yeah, Drew Goddard. Like they're
Okay,
going
so
with Drew
what's
Goddard.
his resume?
So Drew Goddard comes from TV, did a lot of worked on a lot of Buffy and Angel, co-wrote and then directed The Cabin in the Woods, and then did Bad Times at the El Royale. So not a whole lot of like filming to his name. He's got two big movies to his name. Both I think of which are really pretty good. Yeah, he was in the running to do like the OG like Daredevil series. And then he was gonna do like a Sinister Six movie under Sony that he was like super passionate about. He really wanted to do Sinister Six. Uh, that was back when like Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out. Uh, and so yeah, then that never happened. So he's been kind of like in and out of the Spidey world. I think right now, you just told me earlier that it was Drew Goddard and Justin Lin were being eyed for the next Spider-Man movie.
Hmm.
So now that Drew Goddard has signed on to do The Matrix, looks like he's not going to do Spider-Man. Which is kind of a shame. Like I kind of like I like his vibe. I like his writing, his style. I think he would have fit in with Spidey. Um, as for the Matrix, it's weird. I don't think they should be doing a fifth Matrix movie. Especially if you're not going to have the Wachowskis involved.
Yeah, even like as a producer or something, like in
Yeah,
some capacity, like that's
yeah,
weird.
because that was the whole point of Matrix Resurrections. Like they knew that Warner Brothers was gonna do one, and they were gonna do one with or without them. So Lana Wachowski was like, "Cool. This is what I have to say about that."
So here's a question: is Keanu Reeves gonna do it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
That was my thinking too. I was like, "Are any of them gonna do it without the Wachowskis.
Yeah, I don't know. If I mean, maybe they have a cool idea. I don't know, but you know what this does mean? We're probably going to get Matrix Fortnite. Everyone was
Mm,
surprised that we didn't get it with the last one,
yeah.
but um, we just got what like the skin, like the wraps, the ammo wraps, and then like the weird tentacle thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Matrix, we'll see. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just a lot of news. They cast Julia Gardner from Ozark as the Silver Surfer.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just gonna say this right now for all you listening. You know who you are. I don't care. I
but
do not
but Matt,
care.
but
As long as
Matt,
it's a good movie,
but the
I don't
canon.
care the gender of the Silver Surfer. I don't care what the Silver Surfer does or does not have in their theoretical pants.
They don't even wear pants. They're just
Yeah.
silver.
Do they even have like genitals? Like,
No?
I don't know. I don't know. It's the world of comic books, man. Who knows?
Yeah.
And they're not gender bending the Silver Surfer. This is an
Yeah.
actual character. I forgot what her name is, but she's the female Silver Surfer who is the lover of the regular Silver Surfer. But what I was reading today, because I don't know, I don't even care about Silver Surfer, period. So
Mm.
I'm reading all this stuff for the first time. Both of them are in like this insane kind of twisted, uh, uh, kind of like the show we're talking about today, this star-crossed lovers type thing. Like they're destined to be pulled together and torn apart.
Hmm.
So I'm fine with that. We might still get the I forgot what his name was, but the original Silver Surfer. He might
Hmm.
still show up, you know?
True.
That
True.
would be pretty cool.
Might be rad.
Oh, I don't even know what movie is this? Is this Fantastic Four?
Oh, probably.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. All I'm saying is last week they dropped the trailer for that new Marvel first person shooter game with female Galactus, and I'm down. I'm sold. And I don't have to explain why. Uh,
Mm, no, I
and
don't want you to
it's still
explain
comic
why.
accurate because it's Galactus's daughter, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man.
Oh,
Uh
geez.
yeah, other than that news wise, I don't know. There's always something, but
Yeah, I feel like there was something that I wanted to talk about and I forgot.
yeah.
So,
However, I do have an announcement to make.
an announcement.
I have decided,
Uh-huh.
Sam and I have been talking, and of course we've mentioned it before, after we finish Dark and Lost, we're going to do like a kind of like a poll, like the top 10 shows we want to watch and to see what's going to be the next chapter of Lost Legacies.
Hmm. Hmm.
Pretty much crossed two shows off that list this week. Uh, but one of them is The 100. And I was told it was leaving Netflix on March 31st. So with my birthday money, I bought all 7 seasons on Blu-ray, and I'm like, yeah, it's mine. Now it's April 3rd and it's still on Netflix. So
Wow.
at least I have it. It's not a waste of money.
Yeah.
So but yeah, anyway, my that's I guess my announcement is essentially, since we're not going to be watching the show and talking about it on the pod, I'm going to be live tweeting it.
Oh.
As of the time this episode airs, I will begin the following day. So let me see, this episode is airing on Monday, April 8th. So tomorrow, Tuesday, April 9th, 9 p.m. Central Time, I'm going to be watching the first episode of The 100 live tweeting it.
Wow.
And I don't know. I think for sure I'm gonna do it every Tuesday and just see, who jumps on Twitter, who joins, who doesn't. I think this is
Hmm.
also a cool way to do it. Like if there's a show you don't really want to watch, but you're a fan of the podcast, you don't necessarily have to jump on because it's a Twitter thing.
Yeah.
So I think that's cool. So what Sam and I have decided though is Sam will join me in the first episode, and we'll do like a bonus Lost Legacies pod. We'll just talk about the first episode of 100 and kind of like what we remember about it, what we feel, because there's definitely a lot of things to discuss about this show.
Hmm.
I'm the reason one I'm rewatch. I never finished it. I never watched like the last 5 episodes because I didn't want it to end. So I just
Wow.
decided to start from the beginning. But I think it'd be cool just to live tweet it and get reactions from Sam and from anyone else who wants to join and watch, and but not necessarily bring it to the podcast and do a full 100 more episodes of Lost Legacies at the same time. Blah blah blah. All that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but I think there's a lot of cool storytelling things that we could discuss about this show. And as I've always told Sam, the 100 is some of the worst television I've ever seen, but it's also some of the best. And I think there's a lot of really interesting discussions to be had because of that.
Hmm.
Things that we can't really talk about with Lost or Dark because those shows are of a certain caliber and certain
Hmm.
quality. Whereas the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
100, it was a CW show, and all those shows kind of get lumped in. And I think that's also what kind of has it going for it. Like people, uh, like I guess underrated, but it's unexpected. Like it's kind of the underdog. People who actually start watching the 100, they're kind of shocked. They're like, "Oh, this was on CW?
Hmm.
Interesting." So there's a lot of things like that I kind of want to discuss. So Sam and I are going to talk about the first episode, and then the rest is just going to be live tweeting. And I think Sam will probably come back and we'll do it like one episode, like once each season ends or something like that. So you have time, and
Yeah.
I'll probably do one episode a week, maybe two if I'm excited. We'll just see. It's supposed to be fun. Uh, so yeah, and if you can't make it, just find me on Twitter _Matt Jimenez. Of course, I'm gonna use the hashtag Lost Legacies, but I'm also gonna use the hashtag the 100 and the hashtag Get Grounded, which you'll get it when you watch the show. So,
Yeah, yeah.
so yeah, starting tomorrow, 9 p.m. Central.
A thing I will say, because I know you got the DVDs because
Blu-ray.
they were gonna, sorry, the Blu-rays, because they were gonna take it off of Netflix, and it, as of right now, is still up on Netflix. Uh, I'll try. I'm gonna be trying to follow along as well, but I just had the thought: what if at some point they just take it off of Netflix?
That's why I bought them because I'm
Yeah.
like they were.
Well,
I
well,
thought
no.
they.
Well, no, I know that, but I'm like, what about me?
Oh, you're gonna have to come over.
All right, make the popcorn.
Yeah, you're
Have
gonna have to
dad
come
make the
over
popcorn,
every
and all of
week.
us will watch the 100.
Yeah, yeah.
That'll be our bonding
There you
activity.
go. There you go. I don't know why we're still doing this over Zoom.
Hey, because you refuse to come over.
Well, okay. Neither of us have COVID, knock on wood, or have got it in a long time. So I think we're
Hmm.
safe. But you do have cats. So I'm like,
I have air filters. That's what the air filters are for.
still, still. You know what doesn't have air filter, Sam? Me.
Wow.
I got two nostrils, and I think together they have the capacity of half a nostril. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, then, I
Yeah.
see how it is.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to talk about your children in that way.
It's fine. They're assholes anyway, so.
That's okay. The truth is out. Okay. Last
Yeah.
time I went over, they beat me up in the restroom and they stole my wallet. All right.
Just like Charles Bronson in The Dirty Dozen, they just beat you up.
There you go, dude. I was embarrassed and now I outed myself on the podcast due to peer pressure. So yeah.
Hey, 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 come on now. Come on now. This is not peer pressure. All
Parent your
right.
kids, Sam.
Oh, I'm about to. As soon as we stop recording, I'll parent my kids, all right.
Oh man. Um yeah, so other than that, I think we've talked the news, we've talked about the schedule. Um let's get back to what we were talking about earlier, Star-Crossed Lovers. And we're talking about Dark, Season 3,
Hmm.
Episode 3,
Hmm.
Adam and Ava.
Hmm.
Eva? It's always hard because they have such thick German accents. I think it's pronounced Eva.
Yeah, I think it's Eva.
Okay, let me do it again. Adam and Eva. What else is there to say other than Jonas and Martha find out that they're much like both Silver Surfers, destined to be pulled together and torn apart. That is their lot in life.
Yeah.
That's my summary. What did you think? What did y'all think?
Right out the gate, I'm just gonna say it. That sucks.
Mm-hmm.
That's awful.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, no. As always, great episode.
There's no
Uh,
smothering, so it's
yeah,
automatically better than last week.
yeah, automatically a step up. Yeah, it's interesting because now we're getting into like just how different the universes are.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything in what do we say, Wind and Two?
Yeah, I'm just
Uh,
calling it Mirror Winden at this point.
oh, okay, okay, yeah, everything in Mirrorwinden is like happening at a faster rate. So
Yeah.
like some of the same things are still happening, but they're just happening at with speed
Right.
now.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, like Helgi, kind of like remembered something, but then went to the police station to go confess, and then a whole bunch of people found out that he killed Mads, you
Yeah.
know, um, which is completely different from how it happened in Wind and Prime, So it's like, yeah, it's all these little things that are happening, but it's so fascinating, and I'm like, I kind of wish the show. One, I wish it was a little longer, and I
Mm-hmm.
wish it was less concerned with this apocalyptic time travel stuff because I kind of want to see how it's different. I want to
Yeah.
go into that, and explore all of that.
I think a big
Um,
part of the season one that made season one so well done, that was not a sentence. Part of the charm of season one and why it was so well done was that it was a slower pace.
yeah,
Not saying that that's what I want here, because a lot of it would feel like you're just revisiting. Um,
right.
so in that aspect, it works. The stuff we're revisiting and we're doing again, it works. It doesn't feel like repetition because it's
Yeah.
slightly different and it's kind of happening quicker. But everything else, like the mystery and like you said, the world, I wish they could slow down and explore it a little bit. Now, I'm
Hmm.
not too sure on the days here because last week Eva said, well, it's old Martha. Martha
Hmm.
says, that world's going to end in 3 days. So this is the next day, but there's no like dates. It's not like season two where it's like 5 days till the apocalypse, 4 days till the apocalypse.
Yeah.
So it's going to be weird considering how this episode ended. But I'm wondering how the time is going to line up tomorrow. Like, is tomorrow going to be the next day?
Hmm.
Does that mean, okay, there's only 2 days now to the apocalypse? Or
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Like there's still a time, there's still a clock counting down. We're just not exactly sure where we're at right now. We know
Hmm.
there's less than 3 days.
And as if like, we were worried about like Sigmundus and all this stuff. Now we've got these other freaking guys who seem like they can just go wherever and whenever they want.
Uh-huh.
you know, which kind of makes sense when we find out that, oh, they're working for old Marta.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah. And yeah, which makes sense that they can be in uh all of these different times.
And I don't know if you caught this. Towards the end of the episode where Jonas and Martha are going through the caves and they go through the door, it doesn't say Sigmundus.
Yep.
It says, I don't know how to say it, Erit Lux, Erit,
Hmm.
second word, LVX.
That's light.
Yeah, and it's the translation said, let there be light.
Hmm.
I'm like, oh, okay. So automatically and this very much plays into what Eva was telling Jonas. he's already done what Adam told him to. He's seen where that's led him. Now it's time to join the side of the light.
Yeah.
And Jonas is like, I don't want to do any of that, blah, blah, blah. She's like, I'm tired of this. I want it to end. And she's like, then do what you want. What is it that you want? If you want your Martha to live, you know, what do you have to do? Blah, blah, blah. So then he goes off to find Mirror Martha.
Hmm.
Younger Mirror Martha, the one who doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's when we realize, oh, Ava's just pulling this strings as well.
Hmm.
So she
Hmm.
is this world's Adam.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
And that I yeah, her whole thing is like he doesn't get it yet, but both of these universes have to exist. You know, his Marta will always have to die so that both universes can keep on living.
yeah,
I'm like, man, this sucks.
yeah.
This all of this sucks.
It's this really weird thing because it's like Jonas is definitely the show's protagonist, and how do you tell this story where, in a big way, like the protagonist doesn't have any agency,
Hmm.
like I think it's well done, and it's a credit. Like I'm not critiquing it at all, but it's just like you have a character who is literally being told what to do and doing it. That shouldn't work as a story, you
Hmm.
know? Even when he goes against what he's supposed to do, he ends up doing what he was actually supposed to do,
Yeah.
which is like the sick, twisted brilliance of this world. And I don't know, man. Like, it's so wild because it's like, what has any character done? And I mean, this is getting more philosophical here. What has any
Hmm.
character in the show done that wasn't already predestined? You know,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
show is full of people trying to fight destiny, trying to change the time, trying to break the loop, and they just end up causing it all.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Where's Desmond when we need
Wild.
him? Penny, I love you, Pen.
Oh, oh. So somebody posted that clip on Twitter. They were like, what's the best time travel story?" And somebody posted that scene from Lost, and I was like,
Yeah.
man, I started tearing up. I'm like, I
Mm-hmm.
miss it. I miss the
I love that
show.
scene. I love that show. I love that show.
Hmm.
But still, this to this day, like when people bring up that scene, I'm like, I don't know if that was the best of Lost, but that was Lost at its best.
Yeah,
You know, it's
yeah,
like that
I
is
feel that.
such damn good television, man. And like, and okay, yes, it was on television, but that is cinema. Like it's just,
Yeah.
oh, I love those stories, man. Again, Desmond and Penny, two people destined to be put together and torn apart, and you're like, oh man, what's gonna
Hmm.
happen? Like,
Hmm.
oh. In a way, also Sun and Jin, like that.
Yeah,
Is that my favorite trope?
I think it is.
Maybe because
I think that
I would
is.
always say enemies to lovers, or best
Yeah.
friends to lovers, or lovers to enemies.
Ooh. Ooh,
I love
yeah.
all of it, but I really, it's so weird because I hated Romeo and Juliet in school, but like the older I got and as an adult, and once I really actually started being taught Shakespeare properly by someone who got it, like
Hmm.
it really started changing my opinion on things. Like, man, if I had my college professors teach me Romeo and Juliet when I was a teenager, who knows who I would have become? Like,
Yeah.
because just like in my 20s and stuff, I'm like, wow, like it had such like an impact on me. And that's kind of, I I am a sucker for toxic relationships in fictional relationships. Well,
Uh-huh.
actually, no. I mean, F. Scott Fitzgerald and Zelda were very real people. Uh,
Yeah.
but like I love those tropes. I love that archetype. I love that story. When it comes to characters, like those are the ones I'm always going back to. It's like, oh, but maybe if you do it differently, things will work. You know, you're just hoping.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, yeah. And like Dark is of this very bleak look at that, and it's like, I don't know if there's a way out for Jonas or Martha.
yeah. I don't know.
Especially Jonas, because we already know he shouldn't exist.
Yeah, yeah. He's a child of time, a child of paradoxes.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, this show, it's incredible.
yeah. Other relationship stuff. Hannah, she's gunning for Charlotte now.
Oh
Damn.
man, oh, and like it's like she's so Hannah's so fake. Hannah's so
Yeah.
freaking fake, man. Like, because we've seen her in like the prime timeline just be just like, yeah, like this is like this is the man that I want, but he doesn't want me, and then he disappears, blah blah, all this stuff, like, and then she's like blackmailing Alexander,
Hmm.
kind of just for money. And now we see, so not necessarily, well, no, we kind of do see like the inverse of that, where it's like she's not really blackmailing Alexander. She's making a deal with him.
Yeah.
She's like, I have your stuff and I don't care about the money. I want you to ruin Charlotte, you
Well,
know?
well, it wasn't the money in Wyndon Prime? She tells him to destroy Yorick because Yorick's the one who leaves her.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah,
I
and
forgot
in
about that. Yeah.
Mirror, she says to go after Charlotte. I was like, oh damn, dude. There was a shot. I think it might be the last time we see her in the episode, or before she goes to Alexander. I don't remember. But she
Hmm.
walks like into her house or the bedroom or something. Yeah, I think it was because it's like that montage, and she's just kind of like she's not looking into the camera, but she's facing it and thinking, and like I don't know how they did it, but like the camera like sways a bit, but she's like locked still, so it almost looks like the background's kind of swaying.
Oh, yeah,
It was
yeah. I
this
noticed that
really
too.
creepy thing, and it was only like 2 or 3 seconds, and I'm like, oh,
Hmm.
what is
Hmm.
that?
Yeah.
That was I like that shot a lot.
Yeah,
Um,
it feels like it's some kind of like focus lock where it's
right,
like this thing is going to be in focus and then everything else around it will teeter
yeah,
totter. Yeah, that was creepy, horrifying. Do more of it.
yeah. But Charlotte, man, she's the detective. She's starting to figure things out in this world as well. Mirror Charlotte.
Hmm.
Um, Very interesting. She finds Helgi's the little medal.
Hmm.
Uh, so is Peter having an affair? It seems like something's up.
Maybe, maybe.
Yeah.
Which is the same character from Wyndon Prime.
I'm like, was that the same person?
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
in the credits they're credited as Benny slash I think Benedita or something.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, or Bernadette, I think is their
Yeah,
name. Um, yeah, because I didn't recognize the character at first, but I'm like they look kind of familiar, and it
yeah,
just feels weird. And I'm like, well, I guess some again, it's like things are always gonna happen.
yeah.
Some things are always destined to happen. Uh, yeah,
Man, who we
yeah,
didn't see this episode was Katharina.
yeah, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, so it's like, and I think that's part of it. Of like, hey, we only have X amount of time to tell this story, so we're gonna be switching out characters here as we go.
Mhm. Well,
Um,
guys, there's only 8 episodes in the season,
dude,
and
I
we're on
know.
episode 3. We
Yeah,
can't be leaving these people out anymore.
dude, I know. Um,
I'm so scared. I'm so worried. I'm worried that this isn't gonna live up to the hype, which is weird
ooh,
because there is no hype.
is no hype.
Yeah, there's kind of no hype for me. It's just that I
Self-inflicted
really,
hype.
yeah, exactly, self-inflicted. It's like I really love this show and I really want it to stick the landing, and if it doesn't stick the landing, I'm gonna feel cheated.
The whole reason I wanted you to watch the show is to go on this journey with me, just to pull the rug out at the end, and you realize
Oh.
It was all a dream.
It just cuts to black in the middle of the last
Uh
scene,
huh.
and then it's like 10 seconds of black, and then uh executive producer Dick Wolf.
Uh huh. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, man. It was all a play that Martha was writing the night she died. Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez. Wow.
um, no, like I felt kind of bad, but also not because he's a jerk for Ulrich. Like you actually see him
Mm,
breaking down because now they have Mads and he has identification on him and like he's putting it together and he just can't believe it, you know. But I
mhm.
like how he goes and he explains why he became a cop. He saw the guys before him make all the mistakes, do everything wrong, but he still became that guy, you know.
Mhm.
I was like, "Yep, you're doing it again, man." Like
Yep.
so, and what's nuts, old Helgi freaked out when he sees Ulrich. So there's still that connection there, even though this Ulrich has no reason to go back in time.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's Mads now.
I was gonna say it's like I think that's the reason. His reasoning in Prime Winden is to go after his son.
Yeah.
I think his reasoning in Mirror Winden is to go after his brother, to try and
Oh,
save his brother.
yeah.
You know, which might mean that Helgi hasn't had this injury since he was a kid. It might mean that,
Oh, like when he was older.
yeah, that when he was older,
Oh, that's a good point.
when he was an adult.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting. Um, there's a lot of good stuff happening around Yorick in this episode. I love his interaction with Magnus and Martha, you know, especially because we haven't really seen them interact in so long. Even
Yeah.
if this is the mirror version, um, I enjoyed seeing that. I think the kid actors are really good, and
Hmm.
Martha's definitely. I like how much more she's like one of the leads now. But even like we've said, the guy who plays Magnus, like he's always kind of been on the outskirts of the episodes. So it's
Hmm.
always nice to see him get to act, you know.
Yeah.
And as much as I like the scene where they're talking to the Yorick and he doesn't believe them, I really like the scene after where it's just him and Martha in the bedroom
Yeah.
talking. And I was like, dude, yes, they're brother and sister, and I like to see that connection. I wish that my one kind of critique is like I wish there was more of that between Prime Magnus and Mirror Martha. Because even
Hmm.
though they're not from the original each other's times, they're still related, you know? And I want to see
Yeah.
that, you know?
Yeah.
Especially when they know that their version's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is kind of an interesting thing because I feel like I know we're always talking about back when shows had like 22 episode seasons,
Yeah.
you know, and there was time to get into these characters and to have character centric episodes or just more character moments sprinkled out through a series so that you could really get to know these people, all that stuff.
Hmm.
This is kind of an interesting thing because it's like I I feel like I know these characters, you
Hmm.
know, and and it's such a weird thing because I feel like that like that's sort of the toss up when you get shows that have shorter run or shorter seasons. Like you kind of have to sacrifice uh not even really filler. You just have to sacrifice other adventures or other storytelling and kind of just focus on the one narrative, the
Hmm.
one narrative through line. And you can have little arcs, you can have, some side stuff, side plots, whatever. Um so it's weird for me to say that like I feel like they have built in these character moments into the narrative of the show.
Hmm.
So it's like I again like I feel like I know these characters and when the show ends it's like yeah I'm gonna see the whole picture of these people. I just wish there was more. I wish it wasn't so built around the narrative, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Just like more
because
like little character moments, or
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
I guess that's mostly it, you know, like and we'll see, you know, we don't have that many more episodes, but I know that we were saying like, yeah, like it's gonna be interesting to see like what were sort of the plot lines that we felt, you know, kind of got dropped off or just
Mm-hmm.
feel weird like once we take it all in.
Mm-hmm.
Uh
I think
and
a good example of that would be the investigator from season two.
that's exactly what I was thinking of. Yeah.
I think they really played up that storyline more than was needed. You know, because we were
Yeah.
like really invested, and now we realize after season two is over, we're like, oh, okay, that's all it was.
Yeah.
Like,
It kind of as of right now, it does kind of just feel like it felt like something that was from a different show, you
yeah,
know?
and there was no resolution. You know,
Yeah.
both him and Alexander died.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, okay. But he was the cause. Like he was the cause of the explosion. You know,
Hmm.
everyone in the different time periods they set off the thing somehow. He was crucial. He had to open the containers in the modern day. You know,
Yeah.
so I get that. It's just like, wow, there's awfully big buildup of a storyline that had nothing to do with the destruction of dark or time travel, and it's like all of that led to this moment. So yeah, like
Yeah.
agreed. Like this is like a Law and Order storyline. Like not that that doesn't belong in dark, but it's just like it didn't have any tie-in really until the end.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just weird.
Yeah. Which again, you know, I feel like for a show that doesn't have that long, and
Yeah,
especially with the shorter season than the first season,
yeah,
it's like all of your storylines should intersect or should relate to each other, you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
And at least this season, all the episodes are at least an hour. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
so like the shortest one's like 54 minutes or something like that. So I'm
Hmm.
like, all right, that's good. So it is a longer season than season two.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, we'll see. Let me see what's my notes. Oh, poor old Tanhouse. He bought it.
Man, yeah.
Oh, I always keep forgetting, but in the opening credits, the dark letters are some of them are backwards. But
Yeah.
oh, that's cool. And sometimes I think it's part of the transitions too when they do give a location or dates. Like Mirrorwinden, the font is backwards, or
Hmm.
some of it. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Hmm.
Yep, glitch in the matrix. Two young star-crossed lovers.
Hmm.
Uh,
It's interesting too because, you know, we hear Adam talk a lot about like the cycle and you know trying to like break the loop like we have to get ready for the last cycle kind of thing.
mhm,
And it's interesting to hear old Marta kind of talk about that too.
mhm,
You know, how not necessarily that it's all a cycle, but just in that like I know like she has tried with Jonas before and it doesn't work because he will only ever care about his Marta. So
mhm,
she's given up trying to be what he's looking for and it's
mhm,
just sort of got pushing him towards that direction,
mhm,
which is fascinating to me because it's like it's all in a loop. It's all in tandem. It's all,
mhm.
you know,
Even
it's
in this
this
mirror
circle.
universe, it's still
Yeah.
the damn loop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's inescapable, you know? It's yeah, yeah. Also, I'm kind of just jumping around now from like to like other stuff that I like. Uh Back in 1888 where we're like everything comes to a head like okay, like everybody knows now Jonas is Adam. We get that like confrontation between adult Jonas and Mira Marta,
Mhm.
and there's a moment I damn it, I forget what leads to it, but I think Jonas is like he's turned to like go away, and I think Marta asks him for help, and he just gives like this kind of
She grabs
like
his hand.
yeah.
Hmm.
Well, it's like right before that, like he's about to leave and she asks for help, and he just gives this like quick little smirk and then is about to leave, and then she grabs his hand. And there was something in that smirk. I'm like, I know we haven't seen Adam smile,
Hmm.
but I see it. Like this dude
It's
is already becoming Adam. Like,
it's very much like that little smirk. Like that's not Jonas. You
yeah,
know, like we're seeing him become Adam. We're like, oh
yeah,
man,
yeah.
yeah,
It happened too in the last episode where Old Tannhouse was talking about, the society and, all the good that they're gonna do. And I
yeah.
think he's like looking at the cane or he's looking at something or no, he's looking at the Sigmundus ring. And just the way he stands and kind of just turns to face Tannhouse, I'm like, yeah, that's
Oh,
Adam right
okay.
there.
Speaking of Tannhaus, he has his mother's favorite play, Ariadne,
Hmm.
and he has the pocket watch that says for Charlotte.
And the very opening is young old Tannhouse
Yeah.
talking to his dad, and his dad's talking about their mom. It's like your mother would have loved to see, the young man you've grown up to be. And he pulls out the pocket watch. So he's married to
That's why they
Charlotte.
make it seem like, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna be real upset if present day Charlotte just like time slides over from like the past to the present and then just pretends like I've been here the whole time. Like it's like,
Hmm.
dude, yeah,
Hmm.
I've known all along. Like, I'm gonna be so upset if she's known about time travel this whole time. But yeah, I'm so confused. I'm so lost. It feels like every time we gain ground with like, oh, this is how it's connected, we get like 15 other things that I'm like, how does this work?
Yeah.
Like everything with Charlotte, the whole thing. Like, I'm really curious. It wasn't even touched on this episode, but just the fact that Charlotte is Elizabeth's mom, and Elizabeth is Charlotte's mom, and that's a whole mini loop in
Hmm.
this bigger loop. And I'm like,
Hmm.
I don't get it, and it makes me
And
brain hurt.
we've only seen them for like that one quick scene. Like,
Yeah, last episode.
yeah,
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 yeah. Ugh.
yeah. Dude, yeah. So, big twist. I love it where Martha's really, she's trying to gain middle-aged Jonas and everyone else's trust. So she gives him the last bit of the time travel juice.
Hmm.
And when he's doing the experiments and he's getting the thing ready, she books it.
Hmm.
And I'm like, oh God. And she pulls out more of the stuff. I'm like, oh, she's been lying the whole time. And she takes off.
Hmm.
And then the twist is she ends up in 2052 or 3, whatever year it is. And
Hmm.
she's been working for Adam the whole time.
Yep.
Damn it. Which, I mean, it's crazy because now we see the younger Mirror Martha with our Jonas.
Hmm.
And we know she becomes just regular Mirror Martha who's working for Adam. And if that wasn't the big enough twist, oh well, they're in the lab that looks very like Hawkins in Stranger Things, right?
Yeah.
Um, uh, our Jonas and Mirror Martha go through the caves, and where do they end up?
They end up in the future, the ap- the post-apocalypse.
Yeah, I wonder if is this like 2053 for them,
I
or
think
it's
it
even
is.
further.
I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Well,
But
yeah, I don't know. They took the caves though, so
yeah, yeah. Oh, so it would probably have to be.
it probably have to be 2053 or whatever the 2050s.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because
Anyway,
yeah,
the second time we have sunlight in this whole show,
dude, I know,
and it's
Dune.
scorched freaking earth. It's
They end up on
Dune. Yeah,
Dune.
it's Dune for a second. For a sec, I know this isn't the show and it's not the vibe, but when they come out of the cave and it's just this arid desert,
Uh,
in my head I was like, they went back in time and there's gonna be a freaking dinosaur there. I know it.
in the desert?
There's gonna be a goddamn dinosaur. I'm about it. I'm into it. Let's
At
go.
any point, dude, like I'm ready for them to go even further back in time.
Right?
Like, like
Show
let's
me the
just,
time T-Rex.
yeah.
I need it.
I keep forgetting it's in Germany because I'm like, hey man, like I'm fine with them showing up in the Civil War. That's a
Dude,
stretch.
me too. This episode's called Adam and Eve. They arrive in the Garden of Eden, which, surprise to everyone, is actually in the
It's
middle of
Winden.
Germany. Yeah, it's Winden. Winden is the Garden of Eden.
Oh man.
Jeez. Oh,
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah, I love this show.
Yeah. And at the end, Martha finds who I'm only assuming is herself.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
She committed to that haircut for life and she's
That's
got the
right.
scar.
Yeah, she's got the scar too, which our mirror Martha doesn't. Well, our mirror Martha does, but the young mirror Martha doesn't.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Doesn't have the hair or the scar.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So this is like the Martha who's middle-aged Jonas's age.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Why can't anyone just be happy?
Right? I'm telling you, everybody would just be happy with the time T-Rex.
Yeah, yeah. So they didn't really mention it this episode, but they have mentioned it in the last one, the origin. And it's like it's kind of has me thinking like, okay, what is it? Like, why can't Jonas and Martha just take themselves out of the equation? Like just walk away. You
Yeah.
know? I think it would have to be if they can do it, it would have to be at a certain point in time.
Yeah.
You know, like now in the journey they can't do it. But like middle-aged Jonas could have gone back towards the beginning and told him what to do, you know, or something like I don't
Hmm.
know. Like
That's kind of my thing too. I know in Lost, like one of our biggest complaints is that like nobody talks to each other.
yeah.
You know, this episode I was kind of like, you keep talking, but you're not telling me everything.
Yeah, yeah.
And for me, this is why I'm not the protagonist in horror movies or, time travel shows, because I'd be like, I'm not moving an inch till you sit down and you explain to me everything.
Right,
You
yeah.
explain in detail why I have to do the things that you say I have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's too willing to just like, what does your heart want? I don't care what my heart wants. I know what my heart wants.
Yeah.
You sit there and tell me why you think I need to go do it.
Yeah, explain it to me. I
Yeah,
often
because you're
find
really pushy
lies,
about it,
it's harder to keep lies and to keep the straight face when you actually make someone explain it,
Yeah, yeah,
you know?
yeah. It's like sit down. Like, we're gonna have a logical discussion about
Yeah.
this, Adam, future evil Sam.
It's the same thing. It's the same principle of politics, especially
Yeah,
these days. You don't even have to debate. Just ask them questions. Just ask them questions like, well, what do you mean? Can you go more into depth in that? Like,
yeah,
really try to get it down to, like, what is it you're saying?
yeah.
And it's so easy. You'll see the arguments start falling apart in their own head, you
Hmm.
know?
It's like
Um,
define woke for me. What
yeah.
is it that's woke?
Oh, dude,
What
yeah.
makes
Like,
it woke?
what does that mean exactly?
Yeah,
Like, I feel
that's
like you need to do that with time travel. Like, why
yeah,
exactly do you think I need to do this? You know,
yeah,
why? What's the plan
yeah.
here?
At least here, in something like Doctor Who, I'm like, nah, I'm just along for the ride.
Yeah. You see the Doctor Who episode list that came out?
Yeah, I did.
Stephen Moffat's doing an episode. I was like,
Yep.
wow, he's back. I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited, dude. New trailer. I was like, oh, two new trailers. I'm like, yes.
Episode 1, Space Babies.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what? Who's making
Like,
this?
like that sets the
Us?
tone. That immediately set the tone for me.
Yeah.
See, that would be my Doctor Who episode. Episode, I don't know, 10. Time Dinosaur.
Yeah.
Time
Time
T-Rex.
T Rex. Yeah. Okay, well, we didn't do this last week, so this episode, who's your MVP?
I don't know.
This one's kind of tough because, like,
This one's
especially this
tough.
season, like, I feel like there's not one person really standing out. It
Yeah.
feels more of an ensemble than the first two seasons.
Hmm.
Um, I honestly don't know after this episode.
Yeah. I don't know. I like maybe I would say either maybe the direction or the cinematography. You
Okay, I'll
know?
put both.
Okay. Because I think like obviously I think they hit their stride a while back, but there's just a lot going on, and it's so hard to keep up with it. But like they put in an effort to make sure that like, hey, this is where we're at.
Yeah,
This is who's talking. This is what we're doing. You know,
yeah,
and yeah, just some of the interesting shots. Like the Hannah stuff. I'm like, okay,
yeah.
yeah, this is cool. This deserves it.
All right, Sam, we've come to it. Only 5 episodes left.
I hate this. Don't
What
don't
are
do
your
this.
predictions?
Don't do
What
this to
what
me.
needs to happen for you to be satisfied at the ending?
I need this to not live up to the name Dark. I
So
like
you don't want a dark ending. You want a happy ending.
I I don't want a wholly dark ending. Let me put it that
Okay.
way.
Okay.
I need a thing like I'm gonna talk about this. I'm gonna try not to spoil it.
Oh.
But like the ending to the Dark Tower book series,
Hmm.
where we're sort
Okay.
where we're sort of in the same place where we started, but something is a little bit different,
Yeah.
and then we can sort of infer what happens from there. That's kind of what I'm looking for
That's
Dark.
interesting because that's not even the ending. That's like the bonus ending. That's like the true ending.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So it's like that's kind of what I need for Dark. I
Because a
don't
lot.
need it to be like I don't need it to be like, hey, March and Jonas, they run away, they get a cool montage set to quick, what's the like mid 2000s
Lincoln Park.
uh oh okay, sure, Linkin Park. What I've done, as they're running, and then there's no, they're not even running at this point. They're on a beach just like sipping mimosas or whatever.
Uh-huh.
As soon as they clink their little coconuts, Linkin Park starts
You
sounding.
get the helicopter shot of them just pulling out on the beach.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
exactly. Uh no, I don't even need that.
Yeah.
I kind of want it now that I've said it, but I
Yeah.
don't need
Yeah.
it. No, I need this to feel like we didn't waste our time. Like and I don't even mean that in the sense of like, oh, I can't believe I sat through this and wasted like no, like just narratively. I want to make sure that like we didn't just spin wheels for nothing.
Right. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
we were leading to this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's yeah. Yeah.
So here's my prediction, even though I've already seen it. Here's my prediction.
Can we do
Because
that?
we
Is that
because
legal?
we've seen that Charlotte can both be Elizabeth's mom and daughter at the same time, we're
Hmm.
somehow going to find out Jonas is going to realize he's both the son of Mikhail, but also Mikhail. And the episode ends when he realizes that he's the one who has to go missing for all of this to start.
Wait, what?
So he decides to not go missing. And that's where it plays Linkin Park, and that's where it ends.
What I've done.
And it's cool because like he's going to the caves with the others, and then he's like, no. And he pulls on Jonas's yellow hoodie and runs back into the dark. There you go.
He looks at the camera and in English tells us the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing us he never existed. And he puts on the hood and runs away
In the dark.
in the dark. And then yeah.
Man. Ah. Yeah, that's my ending.
Wow.
Um,
Now that you've said this, there's two ways that this happens. It's
uh,
either nothing like that at all, or
it's
you
exactly that.
it's exactly like that.
Oh man.
Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah. Um,
You're too much. You're wild.
I don't even know what to put down for predictions for that. So we'll see. Mid 2000s ending.
Mid 2000s radical ending.
Mid 2000s radical ending with Linkin Park. Man. Um, all right. All right.
All right.
We'll see. Um, next week we'll get into it, the final 5 episodes, starting with season 3, episode 4, The Origin. Which I don't know, we've been waiting and we're kind of running out of time to find out. Maybe we'll find out what the origin actually is.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's
Shit.
interesting, because like we were like, the whole thing was that the origin is Mikkel going missing, at least in our prime Winden. But it's like, well, but there was still all this other time travel stuff going on. It's just we didn't know about it.
Yeah, yeah,
And now
exactly.
that Mikkel never goes missing in Mirror Winden, the stuff is still going on. So it's like,
Yeah.
what is
That's the thing. Like for Jonas, the origin is Mikhail going missing.
right? Yeah,
But for the narrative, which Jonas doesn't have, Jonas isn't omniscient like we are. Like
yeah,
he doesn't know all of the other stuff that we know.
yeah,
So for him, that is the origin point. And that's why I think Adam can exploit him and has exploited him, you know?
yeah.
But for us, it's like, no, we know that that's not true. It's like you said, there's all this other stuff already going
And
on.
because what we've seen in the show, like everything leads to everything. Everything is connected.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, um, even into two different universes, which are now connected because we realize Adam's playing in both worlds.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, technically Ava is 2 because she's sending the 3 over to kill people.
Mm-hmm.
So now when we know there's all this back and forth, it's like it's this huge loop. So even with or without Jonas and Mikkel, like something still has to start the loop,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And like I don't even know. It's one of those things like, do we even have the information right now to figure it out? Like I kind of feel like as deep as we are into the show right now, like we would have figured it out if we had the clues, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
we can also look back to see, because you can even go further back, like Ulrich's dad, Tronte.
Mm-hmm.
His mom is Noah's sister,
Mm-hmm.
right? Is that right? Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
so it's like it's still tied in somehow. And like it feels like there's all these loose threads that are connected. We're just not sure how yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, man. I don't know. Um, we'll see. We'll find out next week. But guys, listeners, until then, let us know what you think. Let us know your predictions for the final 5 episodes of Dark.
Mm-hmm.
Hit us up, #Lost Legacies. Let us know. Also, keep a lookout on my Twitter, _Matt Jimenez. I'm going to be live tweeting the 100. We're going to start this journey
He's gonna be live tweeting tomorrow
night. Yeah. And I'm also on Instagram at Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch.
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads at Reel. That's REEL Texas Weirdo.
Till next time, going dark.
Going dark.